We already discussed about P2P process entries yesterday. I uploaded the videos also regarding inventory item, expense item. How many KFFs in AP? Yes or no? Do you have any KFF?
No KFF, sir.
Okay, sir.
Then what are the roles required AP?
Accounts payable manager, accounts payable specialist.
Accounts payable manager.
Manager,
pay-
accounts payable invoice supervisor, accounts payable payment supervisor.
Super. We have the five.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Five roles. Accounts payable manager, supervisor,
Specialist.
invoice supervisor, payment supervisor.
Payment supervisor.
Tell me AP setups. We already discussed common options.
Invoice options.
Procurement payable, invoice option,
Payment options.
payment option, disbursement options, reference
Payment terms.
reference data set, payment terms, distribution sets, tolerances, document sequence, vendor lookup codes, payment methods, payment template, payment format, payment process profile, payment document. Okay. Then payable aging template. These are all key setups which we require to create as a mandatory to implement AP application. We have to explain sequence and one by one. How many types of matchings? We have two-way, three-way, four-way. We already discussed two-way, three-way, four-way matching. It is for P2P process. What are the roles required to create supplier and
Supplier manager, supplier administrator.
supplier manager, supplier administrator? Your user must have, your user must be defined as a procurement user. That is the most important part, right? What is the difference between spend authorized and prospective? Spend authorized, you can directly create the vendor to start invoice creation. Prospective, you can create, later you will convert to spend authorized once approved. Can I override the vendor name at any time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
To identify duplicate entries, run the report, supplier audit report. How many types of invoices? We already discussed.
Standard invoice.
Debit.
Invoice.
Debit memo
Debit memo,
invoice. Credit memo is prepayment invoice.
Permanent.
Interest invoice.
And recurring invoice.
No.
Payment request
invoice. Returnage invoice. Then interest invoice. Withholding tax invoice. Payment request invoice. Okay. Interest invoice, withholding tax invoice, payment request invoice. These three types of invoices will create automatically based on process which you completed. What is payment term? To calculate
Due dates of the
due dates or installment. Good. Then what is the difference between invoice date, GL date, terms date? Many
Invoice.
times we got
we have received from the supplier. GL date is when the invoice is posted, and terms date is nothing but the invoice date.
okay. Invoice date printed by vendor as per the invoice billing that we will enter in the system. GL date, which date you want to consider to be posted in the GL, that we will control invoice header line distribution. Terms date nothing but your terms date to consider for installment. What is the journal entry for standard invoice? Very basic question.
Sir, here also, how many invoice line types we forgot, sir?
Okay, good. How many invoice lines? Item,
Miscellaneous line, freight line.
Yes,
Right line.
freight tax we discussed. What is the journal entry? Non-PO based invoice. What is the journal entry?
Step one better.
I'm asking you. Non-PO based invoice.
Resume.
Item or charge or expense debit liability credit. PO based invoice with GRN. PO accrual debit vendor liability credit.
Credit.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is the credit memo journal entry? Liability debit. Item expenses are credit. Why all are silent? Very basic things already I discussed. If you are not explaining the entries, means you are not a working employee, you are not capable to do AP. Really, very basic things. And you want to become the good functional consultant, you must know each stage entries. Right. What is the standard invoice? What is the standard invoice in AP?
Standard invoice is nothing but which we need to make the payment.
No. When we purchase the goods and services, vendor will give the bill to us that we will treat it as a standard invoice to create outstanding against the vendor. It can be taxable invoice or non-taxable. Logically, it will increase our outstanding as the item expense debit, vendor liability credit. We discussed it already, regular class. How many types of purchase orders?
Standard purchase order, blanket purchase order,
Blanket purchase agreement, contract purchase,
contract.
planned purchase. These four are there. What is self-billing? I created a PO. I created GRN. System will create invoice automatically in AP from procurement source, standard invoice. That means vendor will send the invoice late or they may not give. We will create invoice based on our goods receipt. Many times we got this question. Many times. What is accrual write-off? We created PO. We created GRN. But invoice is not given by vendor since many years. That will be continue as a accrual credit liability, but vendor is not existed. Then we will do the write-off accrual as a debit, suspense as a account credit. We will record in the GL to close that accrual amount. That we can call accrual write-off, small amounts. Any vendor not yet billed the amount. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between debit memo, credit memo? Every day we are receiving this question. Every day question. Debit memo, credit memo, both are negative invoices to reduce the vendor outstanding. Debit memo created by us for corrections, returns. Credit memo issued by vendor with the authorization with the acceptance. How many types of prepayments?
Two types.
Temporary,
And permanent.
temporary can apply to invoice immediately, permanent
Yes.
can't be applied.
Not.
How to identify prepayment types? And we got this question.
The bell icon.
If allow prepayment option is enabled, that is temporary. And if it is not, that means it is permanent.
Sorry, can you repeat again?
I'm saying if allow prepayment option is enabled, that is temporary prepayment. And if it is not, then it is permanent.
Let me show this.
It shows flag there, sir, in invoice creation level.
Correct.
If you go to create invoice, show more. Okay. Allow prepayment application checkbox is enabled temporary, not enabled permanent. Agree, team? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We got this question. I created a prepayment but unable to see while applying. What might be the reasons?
Permanent repayment.
That will be a permanent prepayment.
Might be we already utilized that prepayment invoice.
Permanent or unpaid or already applied or
Different sites.
no settlement days. Good, different sites. There are different reason, but he's expecting first four okay types of reasons. What is the settlement date in Oracle Fusion?
30.
You want to apply for a temporary prepayment after 5 days, 3 days. You will control settlement date at invoice options or invoice level. How many types of payment methods in AP? Check.
Check electronic.
Electronic,
Wire.
wire. And a few countries and Europe countries, we have gyro, different names. How payment types? Quick,
Manual.
annual,
Refund.
PPR.
payment process request and make it. Payment process, PPR, simple, or payment batch. Tell me payment process request steps.
Payment method, payment format, payment template, payment process profile, internal bank account, checkbooks.
Select, build, format, confirm. Okay.
And the separate remittances.
Payment setups to check payment process. Payment method we required. Payment template technical team upload. Payment format. Payment process profile. Internal bank accounts. GL accounts, cash account clearing, checkbook, and a printer. Laser printer should be installed. Clear?
Yes.
Tell me payment setup CFT payment. Same, but some changes are there. Payment system. Transmission configuration. FTP credentials. And remittance advice also we will suggest to the client to send a letter to them every time. When you made the payment, it will send it to the vendor.
Send limit.
What is the liability account? Liability, what is the liability? From where liability account default and
Common option.
Options. Supply.
supplier side
Supplier side.
or common option? What is the liability? Outstanding. We are liable to the vendor. Our company liable to the vendor for purchased goods and services. Because we are using the standard accrual method, right? You agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then what is payment? Future dated payment? Nothing but Bills payable.
Bills payable.
Anyone can give the answer? What is future dated payment functionality? We already discussed it. I shown the entries also.
We'll send checkbook to the vendor for the purchase and services, but that bill will, the date will be in service. So you cannot pay it immediately, but
Correct, correct. You can print the check today, but that should be future dated check to mature or to release the funds. But we don't do today payment. Clear. Automatic offset I did not discuss. I will explain later. What are the new features in AP&A overall compared to EBS? Make a note. Infolets, info tiles, OTBI reports, BA reports, FBDA template, one-time payment, PPR approval, BPM approval.
Reference data set.
Yes, excellent. Reference RDS, then cross currency invoices and payments, then cross BUs functionality, then shared services, social messages, period end reconciliation, ADR, scanning invoices.
IDRs.
Oh, sorry, I remember. IDR.
Document sequence.
Huh?
Document sequence.
Yes. Document sequence, legal entity wise. You listened my video, EBS versus Fusion.
Yes.
Then back-end database connectivity. Anyone remember more? Right. Cloud data. These are all,
Vendor creation simplified.
sorry,
Vendor creation simplified.
yes. Then BU access, business unit functions, business unit assignments. Minimum you should remember and explain and 5 to 6 comparisons. Okay. One-time payment functionality without creating the vendor. We will fill the file-based FBDA template. We will upload that. We will discuss. And okay, right. How many ways we can create invoice in AP? Very, very basic question.
Feeder system, manual system.
Manual,
FBD.
billing,
Import.
Feeder invoices.
feeder invoices, means source system,
Spreadsheet.
FBDA template. From FA also we can create lease invoices. Okay, these are all sources we can create invoice. What is distribution set?
Distribute the invoice amount for various accounts.
Excellent, Amared. Excellent. We can distribute amount to different departments logically, same account, or different accounts with a percentage, like advertisement, like rent. How many types of distribution set? 100%,
Till 10 and 100%.
0.
Zero, sir.
In EBS, we have full and skeleton. What is prepayment application entry?
At invoice level, prepayment debit, liability credit, or the payment liability credit, cash, liability debit, cash credits.
See, two important points. Prepayment entry is a different prepayment application entry. I will tell you. Prepayment entry, prepayment debit, cash credit, final entry. Prepayment application means you are applying the prepayment to invoices, means in our language adjusting. What is the journal entry and when I apply the prepayment to invoice? Anyone can give the answer? I applied prepayment to invoice. What is the journal entry? I'm expecting very good.
Expense, expense account debit to prepayment account credit
No,
item.
you should not say direct. You are right.
Yeah.
You should say item expense debit, liability credit. You have to write. Then liability debit. What is credit?
Prepayment.
Excellent. That you should remember. Instead of the cash, we are recording prepayment credit. So prepayment becoming 0. What is the void payment? What is the entry? Why should I go for void payment? Simple. There are insufficient funds, mismatch amounts, signature mismatch. We will void the payment, like cancel the payment entry. What is the entry ending? Very, very basic question. Very, very basic question. Void the payment. First, tell me what is the entry for payment? Ready? Or Satish, what is the journal entry for payment?
Vendor liability
Vendor
account.
liability, cash
Vendor
clearing.
liability debit, cash clearing credit.
Done. If you do void,
Cash clearing
Upper,
debit,
then
vendor liability,
Vendor.
very nice. You have to think reverse and tell me payment process request stages. I think already we discussed, right? Somewhere.
Yes, sir. Discuss.
This is repeated, right? Duplicate. What is the multi-period accounting? 100% expected question. Every AP topic, if you say, I am very much comfortable for AP, expected interpretation. Tell me.
Prepaid invoice.
Excellent. Tell me the entry and example. What are the reasons we will go?
The amortization purpose, we will book this course, sir. I mean, for 1 year, rent, we will receive the invoice. Month on month, the cost has to be reflect.
Excellent. Give the entry number. Entry. Tell me one example. What?
Prepaid rent,
No.
prepaid rent debit.
100% wrong. See, why should I will not pay the 12 months rent as advance Sunday. Did I pay the 12 months rent for our institute? No. That is not example. That is not a scenario. Best example, you can take your personal also insurance or maintenance or renewal services, internet expenses. See, your personal insurance, are you paying before or after?
Before, sir.
before
Next 12 months, right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
what is the journal entry? prepaid expense or deferred expense debit. Liability to cash credit. So 12,000 I paid. Best example, internet expense. Every month end, what I will do?
Expense account debit, prepaid expense account will be credit.
Distribution expense, whatever you like it. Internet I will take. Expense debit, prepaid
Prepaid
or deferred
expense.
expense. I already released the video and you guys did not listen. That is a problem. I already communicated, I given the very good examples, 2, 3. Right? Then what is the reference data set?
Calculate the due dates and discounts.
No number. Reference data set in Fusion.
To use the common data across the organization. Reuse the common.
Simple and simple. In EBS, I will tell you, and Fusion. EBS, I defined payment terms. Example, net 30, net 60. The two setup can use across OUs, across ledger, across like ledgers, across OUs, across legal entities, like instance level. But in EBS, my client asked me, I want to restrict my payment terms particular OU. Is it possible? No. That was enhanced in the Fusion. Oracle brought the new functionality reference data set. I want to use immediate for across the BUs. I can use common set. I am defining the N120 payment terms, but I want to use only for Canada, only for Denmark. Other BUs should not access. Define the reference data set. You can control through reference data set access for particular BU. That is like it is one type of access control. How many types of RDS are there as is seeded?
Common and enterprise.
Enterprise and custom.
How
Customer.
many types of bank accounts in Oracle? Internal bank accounts, external bank account. We already discussed in the regular. These are all questions we discussed. You have to remember. External nothing but vendor, customer, employee. Internal means our client bank account. Cash account, cash clearing account will be controlled. Many times we got this question. Difference between internal, external. Internal bank account will have cash account, cash clearing account, checkbooks. External bank account will have vendor bank accounts for electronic, customer bank account, electronic, employee bank account for salary. Can I override payment terms at any time? Yes.
Yes.
Before payment process, yes, you can override. After payment done, that invoice will become freezed mode, right? Can I override payment method at any time? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can I create the same invoice number for same vendor multiple times?
No.
No, sir.
Did you try it? It shows that.
Should not duplicate.
What is multi-currency invoices payment functionality? Many times this is top interview question and many times since many years, since EBS 11i or 12 Fusion. Simple. Our client like to use other than functional currency. Our client procuring material from China, America, Australia, we want to process the payment, we can use multi-currency functionality. Agree? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can I do cross currency payment?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes. In Fusion, yes, it is new functionality. In EBS, we don't have. Can I do cross BUs invoice payments? Yes. In Fusion, it is possible. Can I use single legal entity, multiple BUs in AP? Yes. Can I use single BU with multiple legal entities? Yes. What is the realized gain and loss account, Sunny? Very, very basic question. I am expecting the answer. Team, I'm expecting the answer.
While we are repayment to the foreign vendor, if
Excellent. Foreign currency invoices, payments, exchange rate, conversion rate difference, it will go and record realized gain. How many levels will control realized gain and loss accounts? Satish?
Yes. Realized gain.
How many levels as a consultant we will assign at implementation time? Very, very basic question.
Two.
High levels, sir.
Well, two only, sir.
2 levels. Realized gain and loss accounts. First,
Yes, sir.
remember common options. Very, very basic thing. If it is EBS, invoice output. Then second one. Second one.
Second one, bank level, sir.
Excellent. Bank account. Tell me supplier creation process status. Supplier name, address,
Supplier address, site,
Site.
and
Site assignment. Contact and qualification.
qualification not required. And this is the logic. It is there, but logically we can say. Can I delete invoice once validated?
No, sir.
no,
we can reverse.
There is no word called reverse. Okay. Can I delete invoice once accounted?
no, sir.
No.
Can I override the accounts once validated?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can I override the accounted once accounted?
Yes, sir.
New functionality and override account functionality given. This is a new functionality for API. You can note down this is a new functionality. Okay. What is the zero payment functionality? Yesterday also we got this question. Anyone?
There is no outstanding, but we have negative 0 or positive 0 in the trial balance reports.
Okay. We have 10,000 positive, 10,000 negative as a credit memo. Both are showing unpaid in the reports. You want to close that invoice as a 0. Okay. We will call zero payment to make the 0 to make the paid status. We already discussed ending 100% no doubt.
Discuss.
I noted entries also. What is aging process and AP aging?
Invoices which are
Outstanding payment.
standing in our system.
To know how much liable to the vendor day wise 1 to 30, 31 to 60. We discussed. What is pay each alone?
For
Invoices
each invoice, you can make the separate checks, sir.
individually.
Invoice consider as separate
Payments.
payment document or check while running PTR, payment batch. What is the significance of pooled account in AP? I did not discuss it. I will explain now tomorrow. Okay. How many types of payment documents? You remember? Okay. Ready? Will you able to remember? Okay. No one?
No, sir.
Right. Pre-numbered. Did you see? Pre-numbered. Okay. Let me go to here. I explained, but sometimes we may not remember because one time we are doing the setups, right? Blank stock and pre-numbered. If you go to cash management, I hope interesting, right? Today's class.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Let me go, I see. So if you go to checkbook, here we have the paper stock type, blank stock,
Numbered stock. Number.
numbered stock. In EBS, we have name called pre-numbered. Okay, here numbered stock. Numbered stock.
Blanks.
And blank stock.
Blank means you can give any number.
Real time, sir.
Real time depend on volume of the business. Okay, right. What is check EFT? Sorry, tell me check and EFT payment process. I already discussed it above. Okay, check. We will print documents, send it to vendor. Electronic, we will create a file, send it to banker. Create a file for electronic, for EFT, send it to banker to clear the payment. Right. My ledger currency INR example, Borosil. I created invoice USD. Can I make the euro payment to USD invoice?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have 3 BUs under one legal entity. Can I close the period individually? Good question.
PBUs and
One BU can be closed, along with that, ledgers can be closed.
No. If you close one, 3 will be closed automatically.
closed.
That is product logic.
Yes.
I have 3 BUs under legal entity. 1 BU have exception out of 3 BUs. Can we close the period? No.
No.
What is the third party payment? We already discussed.
Apart from actual
Paying
vendors,
to other than vendor.
On behalf of
The payment behalf of others.
You created invoice for Asian Paints, but you want to make the payment to Berger Paints. That we can call third party, but we need to do some prerequisites. Did you work on the supplier migration? I will explain in the real time next week. How many sheets required for upload supplier? 8 templates. 8 sheets are there that we will discuss. Mandatory functionality. How to upload vendor bank names, bank accounts through FBDA template. We are not yet discussed. Can I assign more than one bank account to vendor site? Yes.
yes.
Can I assign one vendor bank account to another vendor site? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir, it is possible.
Yes, I explained one day. What are the accounts can assign at a bank account level? Internal bank account level. Remember, boys? Very, very basic thing as a AP consultant. No? Very, very basic question, Babu. Very, very basic question. What are the GL account we will assign bank account level?
accounts liability, bills payable, and
Account.
Okay.
PPL.
Cash
Cash
clearing.
account, cash clearing account, realized gain and loss accounts. Anyway, we have the page, right? Just read it. Cash account, cash clearing reconciliation difference. 3. Business unit taxes level. You can see
Bank.
bank charges for realized gain and loss. Right? 6 accounts.
Yes.
You are the consultant and you should remember. Okay. One time job and these are all. Can I change bank account name at any time?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can we remove masking for bank accounts?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
How many ways we can upload invoices in Fusion? FB data.
Spreadsheet.
No
Eight-
spreadsheet, FB data. Did you work on invoice migration? Yes. How many methods are there for data migration? 2. I will explain. How do you reconcile once migrated? We will discuss it. To be discussed. How many ways we can create? How many ways we can do create accounting? And
Invoice level.
good. Invoice level, then
Schedule process.
create accounting program and very basic things, Babu. Did you work on invoice approval? We will discuss. How many types of approval? Make it very basic. Supervisor, supervisory, position, approval group, then resource. We have different options. We will discuss. Did you work on PPR payment workflow? To be discussed. That is a new functionality. Can I run multiple PPR single go?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, different payment methods. Different payment methods. Logical. Different payment methods. Or different
DUs also we can run, sir.
different checkbooks within the payment method. Can I run the PPR with multiple payment method like? Yes, you can schedule it. No. Right. What is remittance advice?
Payments details which need to be sent into the suppliers for the allocation.
We are sending
Confirmation.
to vendor about payment details. Simple. What is the invoice number we made? What is the amount we made? That is standard functionality since 11i or 12 Fusion. It is not you. Can I add bank account for vendor at PPR level?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Can I run PPR without bank accounts? Yes. Only 2 stages. How to hold invoices to avoid payment? Payment hold at invoice installment level. Can I split payments after invoice accounted?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is Proxima payment terms? What is the payment priority? Can I delete the payment batch?
Yes, sir, we can delete it.
This to be discussed. This payment priority is in Proxima will explain. Can I cancel payment batch after formatted confirm?
No.
Tell me PPR process. We already discussed. Required setups already discussed.
Duplicates.
Discussed. Can I schedule the PPR for payments? Yes.
Yes.
You need to have the request templates. You need to define payment request templates for check under. How PPR will do payment grouping depend on selection. Anyone can give the answer, depend on selection. Payment method wise you can run.
A group wise.
Pay group wise.
Vendor type wise, vendor wise, pay group wise, current wise view. 10 options are there. How to install check printer? Yes, we'll install Razor printer connected to the PP. Tell me important reports, we already discussed. What is the significance of AP trial balance? Very, very basic question, very, very basic information.
To know the outstanding transactions of the.
To know unpaid invoices as on today. Simple. You have to use that word to know unpaid invoices outstanding as on time, as on date, as on today. Can I make adjustment to paid invoices? Yesterday we got this question. I created invoice, I done payment. Can I do adjustment? Can I modify?
Yes, we can.
So how we will modify, sir, once the payment is done, we have to void it or how it is?
We have the option, allow adjustment paid invoices option in EBS 11i EBS R1. If you go to payables,
Okay, sir, got this.
go to invoice,
This option is there. Yeah, it is.
allow adjustment.
Yes.
Very, very expected question. Even real time I tested many times. How to import expense report from yesterday we got this question. We should schedule the process. Reimbursement and prepayment invoices. I already released the one video also long back. How many roles? Discussed. Duplicate question. Right, no problem. How to restrict a bank account at vendor creation level? We will hide it.
Asking the bank.
Yes. No. Vendor site level, one user requirement only. One user should create a vendor. AP manager only should assign bank account. We will create approvals and that client 100% he will ask that requirement. No doubt. We will do BPM approval. Can we create approval? Yes, damn sure. This is. Tell me AP base table. Yesterday also we got to that question. AP base table, AP interface table, AP invoices all, AP headers all, AP underscore invoices lines. We have the some base tables, interface tables. Tell me some new features added in each quarter. We are in the 24C. I hope you know patch set. Okay, compare to EBS, what are the new features? Have we created sandbox? Yesterday we got this question and from Jansar company. So sandbox is majorly to do page composers. You want to make a vendor type as a mandatory, invoice creation level description as a mandatory, supplier site level address lines you want to make a mandatory, optional field to mandatory, we can use sandbox. We are not yet discussed. I will show you one day. Did you personalize any pages? Technical team will do, but we are eligible to do. Did you create DFF? I will explain in the real time. Can I cancel multi-period accounting invoices? Yes, but it will be impacted. You have to void the, you have to unreconcile multi-period accounting, then do the void payment, do the cancel. It is big process. Can I change override multi-period account dates? No. Did you create any tax invoice in AP? Yes. Item expense debit, tax debit, liability credit. We already discussed this one, regular classes. How many types of taxes depend on country? If it is America, like recoverable tax, non-recoverable tax, withholding tax, different countries, different except, okay, offset tax depend on country. Minimum recoverable.
So should we need to explain about what is recoverable, non-recoverable and withholding tax also, sir? When the definition is?
If you give the answer, you should know,
Yeah,
right? What is offset tax? Can I create invoice with the zero amount? Yes or no?
yes.
Yes, we can.
sir.
I think we tried, right?
Already duplicates.
Yeah. Can I create standard invoice with the negative invoice?
Yes.
I think
No.
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
okay. Yesterday we got the question. I reconciled payment. After some time, can I do unreconciled?
We
Yes,
can.
we can. Yes.
Yes, 100% you can do. I released the one document when I was in the supporting project. There are other questions also available, but I noted only 137. I think 60 more questions I can add if I find time. Okay. You learned something today?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir. Definitely.
Yes, sir.